Hello people, welcome to Perfect Glamour Fashion. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this trendy V-neck Milkmaid top, okay, with bell sleeves. So let's get into it. Alright people, we're going to start by drafting our basic bodies. I already know how to do it. Divide your shoulder by 2 in mark. You're going to come down from where you marked by 1 inch in mark. You're also going to come to the neck and mark your neck width. I'm using 3 inches neck width, okay? And then you're going to mark your armhole depth, and then you're going to connect the lines. I hope you got that, okay? Mark your shoulder divided by 2, come down by 1 inch, mark your neck width, and then mark your armhole length, okay? Now we are going to mark your bust divided by 4. Okay, that's the line I just ruled. Bust divided by 4. You're going to divide your armhole line by 2, and then you're going to form your armhole curve. This is basic bodies, okay? It's not difficult. All right, so I'm going to come in by 0.5 half inch, and I'm going to connect this to form my front armhole. You already know how we do it. You come in by 0.5 and then you connect the dots, okay? And the next thing we're going to be doing is to mark our bust points or bust apex, our under bust, very important, our half length, and then our tops, the length that we want our top to stop. If you want it to be above your navel, you can use your half length, but if you want it to cover a bit like my own, you should come down by up to 3 inches. For instance, I'm using 18 inches, my half length is 15 inches. You understand that now? Okay, so you're going to mark your nipple to nipple divided by 2. Mine is 8, divided by 2 is 4. So make sure you mark that accurately, okay? Now I'm labeling the lines. That's my chest line, that's my nipple point, my under bust, my half length, and my top length. All right, so on the under bust, I'm going to be marking half inch on the center front, and then I'll divide the difference between my nipple point and my under bust and mark, okay? If your nipple point to your under bust is 4, you're going to mark 2 inches on the side and rule it all the way down. I hope you're following, okay? Tell me in the comment section if you're following. All right, so we'll connect that to the nipple point, and when we're done doing that, just make sure that you use your curved ruler and connect that very well. All right, the next thing we're going to be marking is our neck depth, okay? This depends on how much cleavage you want to reveal. For me, I use 8 inches because I don't want to reveal so much cleavage, okay? You can use your nipple point, you can use 9 inches, you can even use 7 inches. It depends on what you want, okay? For me, I used 8 inches and it came out really fine. I like the way it came out. Okay, so I'm going to use my curved ruler to connect, but before I connect, I went back in by half inch, so I ended up using 3.5 inches for my neck width, and I came down by 8 inches, okay? And I really loved the way the fitting came out. All right, so when you've marked your desired neck width and neck depth, the next thing we're going to be doing is to form the cup, okay? We're going to be using a curved ruler to form the cup, okay? This is me doing the connection for the front side. So, and then for this part, it really depends on the style you want it to be. Okay, if you want it to be like this corset style, you might want to come in by half inch before connecting this, okay? But for me, I just want it to be V like that. Okay, now I'm going to be inputting my horizontal measurements. My bust divided by 4 is already there. My under bust, I'm going to divide it by 4, and then don't forget to add your dart intake, okay? Whatever you took out for the dart, add it back. Same goes for the half length. Mine is 27 divided by 4 plus the dart intake. The same thing goes for the hip line. I'm going to come down by 8 inches as though from the half length, as though I marked my waistline. And I'm going to divide my hip line, sorry. I'm going to divide my hip by 4, and then I'm going to place my ruler, but I will start ruling from the top length. I don't know if you got that, okay? If you didn't get that, you can just go back in the video and see what I did there. All right. After doing that, the next thing is to rule out the other side of the cup. Okay, I'm using my curved ruler, but I don't want the cup to start exactly from the armhole, so I came down and started ruling the cup from the underbust. Okay, I'm going to mark the cup. My own cup starts at the nipple point, underbust to nipple point. So this is me labeling the cup so that I don't get confused. Okay, so this is the center front and this is the side front, and this is the center of the cup and this is the side of the cup. Okay, all right, so I'm going to cut it out and we're going to continue with this. But then, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. In this channel, we post sewing tutorials, simple sewing tutorials. We are also in the comment section to answer your questions. So if you have any question, don't forget to ask. If you like this video, you've watched it up to this point, that means you like it. All right, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube will send it to everyone that needs to watch it. Okay, so follow me carefully as I cut out this pattern. Okay, once you're done cutting it, you're almost done with this dress. Actually, it's a very, very simple dress. Like I will always say, sewing is not difficult. You just need to have a good teacher, and I think I'm a good teacher. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. Am I a good teacher? All right, enough talking about myself. Back to our sewing tutorial. So at this point, you can actually use this pattern like this, okay, to form your cup. That's if you don't want all the draping effects that you saw on my own top. So if you don't want all that effect, you can just leave this alone. Okay, now I divided the shoulder by 2. What I have left on the shoulder, I divided it by 2 and I connected it back to the nipple point. Okay, so I connected that back to the nipple point. Okay, now I just wanted to demonstrate to you that you can use this cup like this. All you need to do is to add the sewing allowance. I'm so sorry about my voice. Is to add the sewing allowance to this and then join it there. Join it at the point where you removed the darts, and you formed your cup. Is that easy? Is that simple? You see that? So you can have this actually if you don't want the drape effect, if you don't want the gathers effect under the bust. Okay, so with that being said, let's go back. All right, so we've divided our shoulder. What is left from our shoulder, we've divided it by 2 and we'll connect it to the nipple point. Okay, and then we'll slit it open. This is to give us the slash and spread effect. So we are going to slash this as though you want to cut it open, but you will not cut it open fully so that you can still have your pieces to work with. Okay, now for the back pattern, we still are basic bodice. So if you've observed so far, this dress, this top is made with basic bodice, no complication. Okay, so I just marked my start point, my start line, and when I'm done with that, I'm going to impute my zip allowance. Okay, this is my zipper allowance. I'm using 1 inch for my zip allowance. If you're going to be using lining for this top, you might want to use up to 1.5 inch, but because I'm not going to use lining, I'm just going to use 1 inch for my zip allowance. Then you divide your shoulder by 2 and mark. So every other measurement you're going to be taking it from the 1 inch sewing allowance, zip allowance, sorry. Okay, so divide your shoulder by 2 and mark. Then mark your neck width. Okay, come down from your shoulder by 1 inch to form your shoulder slope, and then you're going to mark your armhole length. Okay, divide your bust by 2 and mark. Divide your bust by 4, I'm sorry, and mark. I don't know why I've been saying divide your bust by 2. It's divide your bust by 4. You already know that, okay? And then mark. And then you come to your armhole length and divide it by 2. And then form your back armhole curve. Okay, just the way we do it, form your back armhole curve. Then I'm going to come down and mark my under bust, my half length, and then the full length of this pattern is already my top length. Okay, so I'm going to mark my under bust, my half length, and my top length. All right, I'm dividing my under bust by 4. I will before I do that, I would impute my nipple to nipple divided by 2. I'm going to come down, rule down a straight line. You can rule your own all the way down, okay? Just that I just stopped at the half length. When you've ruled that down, we are going to divide your under bust by 4 and mark. Okay, under bust divided by 4, you mark that. Add your dart intake also. Do the same thing for the waist. Your waist divided by 4 plus your dart intake. Okay, and then you rule the line all the way up. Then for the down part, I'm going to bring in my side front. Okay, and then I'm going to rule out exactly what I have by the side on my back. Okay, just review. You can take this video back so that you see exactly what I did. It's not difficult. Okay, I'm going to come down by 1 inch on the neckline to form my neck depth. Okay, this is just 1 inch I'm using for the front. And then the next thing we're going to be doing is to take our zip to take in some inches to eliminate zip bulging out. Okay, I'm taking in ½ inch and I'm connecting it all the way up and all the way down. Okay, just look very carefully, you see what I did there. Then it's time to cut out. Now for the cup, remember when placing it on the fabric that you will open it up to the extent you want the gathers to be. Okay, I didn't want my own gathers to be too full, so I opened it up by like 1 inch. You can open by 2 inches, you can open by 3 inches. So I've joined the sides, and remember I cut each side. I cut double of each side. Okay, I cut double of the center, I cut double of the sides. Okay, so I gathered the cup and then I fit it into whatever I have as the hole. Okay, all right, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the front. It's to join the 2 pieces of the front, and then I top stitched on it. I hope you're following. I hope I didn't lose you. Okay, then I'm going to join the sides to form my front piece. Now over to my back piece. For my back piece, I'm going to be rolling out my darts. I'm going to be rolling out my darts on the material. Okay, so I marked my nipple point, I marked my half length, and on that half length I marked my nipple to nipple measurement +1. Remember our 1 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so that's for me that's 5. And then I ruled my French curve 0.5 inch on both sides of the waistline, the half length. That's where you will do your ½ inch on both sides, and then I connected the lines. Simple. And then this is how I transfer my dart to the next fabric. I just place it and then dab, and voila, it have transferred. Okay, so I would so I sewed in the dart, and then I piped the upper part, what is it called now, the neckline. Okay, and so this is me joining the front to the back. For me, I like to kind of sandwich the back in between the front. Okay, especially when I have 2 pieces for the front and 1 piece for the back, I'll just sandwich the back in between and then sew it to give it a better finishing. Okay, you can sew yours however you do, and then I'm going to join the side. And we're almost done with this dress. You see, it's not difficult. This is empty for both sides, and we are done joining the side. We're almost done with this. I'm so happy. We would add the zip, and then we'll pipe the mouth for the. I cut some bias from the fabric to pipe the mouth. You can use any bias of your choice. Now for the sleeve, to fold the sleeve. Now to fold your sleeve, you're going to divide your armhole length plus 2 inches. That's what you're going to use and fold your sleeve. And then you're going to mark your sleeve length. And by the side, you're going to come down by 0.4.5. Can you imagine? Next, I came down by 9 inches and then I formed a curve there, okay, just to give it that curvy effect by the side. All right. Then at the down part, I came up by 4 inches. You can use 4 to 5 inches depending on how you want that side to be, okay? And then I added sewing allowance and I cut it out. It's that simple, actually, that simple. And then I connected this sleeve off camera, okay? And after connecting this sleeve, we're actually done with the dress. All right, so opening it up, I had to cut out 0.25 this for the front armhole. Okay. So identify that part and connect it to your front armhole and we're done.